Benfica Podcast is one of the founding members of Benfica Independent. Benfica Independent is an independent platform made by fans for fans, and in it you can find opinion articles, podcasts, including ours truly, and also modalidades, if you will. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/Benfica Independent, where you can get merch, you can sign to get exclusive content, and share your Benfiquismo.
Ser benfiquista é uma crença. É uma religião muito grande. A adesão a um culto que é liberado, que crê, que é mental, que é o caráter das pessoas.
Calma de quem é grande, maior que os maiores. É uma paixão com a explicação.
Eu não consigo explicar o que é ser do Benfica. Eu sinto o que é ser do Benfica. É de facto uma paixão. E as paixões são assim, vivem-se assim intensamente.
Aqui não há nenhuma razão. É paixão, paixão, paixão.
Ser Benfica. Até à morte.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Dog Benfica podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumaças, coming to you live here from the east coast of... never mind. Cristiano, episode number 442 is what we're up to. I don't know what's going on with the start. I was so excited about the start, and then, I don't know, everything got derailed. What's happening? Cristiano Oliveira, meu amigo. Yeah.
I was just letting you go on. What's going on, Alfredo, Dave, Freddy's? Welcome to another edition of the Benfica Podcast, Talking to the Dog.
That's right. Chico Marcelino, Carlos Amaro, Diogo Reis, already in it. Dave de Oliveira is also in it. What's happening, Dave? You got a fresh cut?
Got a fresh cut here. We have got the international break here to... relax, but good to be back on here another night, another podcast, like Steve used to say.
That's right. This podcast, as I mentioned, 442. We don't have much to talk about. We already spoke about the Ajax game, but we do have Estoril to recap, which is a game that happened this past weekend, and also the Champions League draw, which happened last Friday. A draw that matched us up with the all-powerful Liverpool. But we'll get into that. But before that, let's get right into the Estoril game and get this going. If you could tie Estoril first in the first round, and Estoril hadn't won away since December. We lined up with Vlaco Dimos, Gilberto Otamendi, Vertonghen, and Grimaldo, Weigl and Maite, Rafa and Everton, Ramos behind Yaremchuk. Obviously, Tarabt picked up the red, couldn't play, and Darwin was not available. I think Darwin was hurt, right? From what I recall, I think he was hurt. So that's how Benfica lined up.
Mas já está recuperado para a seleção?
Já está recuperado para a seleção e foi cortar o cabelo também, não
How
viste?
does that work? It was like the Samson and Delilah, right? Cut his hair and he got hurt. He lost
all of a sudden he got powers.
He got hurt in the Ajax game. He had pulled. He had gotten subbed off there. With the
I think it just might have been.
Sure, it wasn't the haircut, Dave. I know you're looking fresh with your new haircut. You're trying to defend haircuts, but are you sure there's no link?
I like the story about the haircut. Let's go with the haircut.
The haircuts, yeah, he lost power.
I'm with you.
Maxie's brother, Sansão e Delilah.
É isso, pá.
É o Sansão e Delilah.
É o Sansão. A gaja, não sei se era só. O Chico Marcelino maybe could help us
Delilah.
out. Is it Delilah?
Yeah, of course.
Chico?
É. Pá, tu dizer que é o Sansão e o Delilah.
É o Sansão, eu sei. Sansão, eu sei.
Yeah, Samson and Delilah, bro.
Oh, Cesar da Silva is saying that he picked up the
yeah, way to go, Dave. Way to go.
Dave, you should know these. You're the stats man. Samson, I know.
É o Delilah.
Sansão.
I don't
Em
forget
português,
girls' names,
bro.
Eu não me esqueço do nome das gajas.
Dona Lourdes.
Dona Lourdes.
Hey, Cesar, by the way, good intervention on the forum for Benfica Independent, man. I heard that, and I heard you on there. Nosso amigo canguru, as they like to call you.
Did he give me a shout out?
No.
Oh, don't.
Cesar didn't give us a shout out.
Cesar, don't.
He doesn't need to give a shout out. We're part of the family.
Vai dar banho ao cão.
Vai dar banho ao canguru.
É isso. Mas então, look, é Delilah, bro. É Delilah.
É Delilah.
Samson and Delilah. Olha aqui.
Sansão e Delilah. É isso. Sansão e Dalila. Não é Delilah.
Aqui,
Dalila.
Delilah. Estás a ver?
Mas é Dalila em português.
I'm in USA, bro. USA is Delilah.
USA is Delilah. You're right about
That's
that.
right. I watched that movie as a little kid. One man's. I mean, that was.
Is that why you had your hair long?
I didn't have long hair as a little kid, bro.
Yeah, but you had long hair at some point. When I met you, you had long hair, kind of longish hair.
What back? In like 19, in the 1900s, way back, probably right. Yeah,
in 90, I don't know, 90,
94, 90. No.
Yeah, your hair was like
I had decent.
Like
I think the longest I ever had was like right below the.
Yeah, you had really nice blonde hair.
It was too straight. I looked like a girl from behind.
Is that why people used to feel your ass all the time?
I had big legs and a big butt, and so I used to get whistle a lot. Until, you know what I mean? And I didn't have a beard, peach fuzz. Not even peach fuzz at the time. Was long story.
Yeah,
long time.
awesome.
Yeah, when I did meet you back in the days. Yeah, now that I'm deep,
you had long hair, dude. I remember when I first met you, you had long hair.
We don't no mullet.
No, it was a mullet. It was it was like the Luis Figo type. No, it wasn't.
Then I see a gel of the cereal, and then you just cut it, and then you just let it grow. That was it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bowl cut, but your hair was a bit curly, I think.
No, never. It was too straight.
Straight?
My hair was always straight. Yeah.
Some reason I don't know.
No,
I remember curly, but that was a long time ago. My memory shot.
No magnitude. No.
Belchevier hair. I don't know about that.
It was blonde like that. It was blonde.
It was definitely blonde.
I used to have bleach blonde hair back in the days.
No, you had nice. No, I think.
Yo, you scaring me, bro. You might have been one of the guys that whistled at me.
That picture that you have that says "I love vagina."
Oh no, that's not vagina, bro. It was that's a Coca-Cola. I enjoy. I think it says I enjoy vagina, like with the Coca-Cola symbol. It does, but it's not I love vagina. It says I enjoy it. And with the Coca-Cola symbol. I have a picture somewhere around.
And you got your arm around your mom
and my sister.
And your sister. And his shirt says I love vagina.
No, it doesn't say I love vagina. I enjoy it.
I enjoy vagina.
With the Coca-Cola sign. Like enjoy Coca-Cola. It's like enjoy, yeah, but
that picture's around here somewhere because I've seen it not too long ago.
I think that was in Ocean City.
Yeah.
I think it was like one.
No, you had a nice stand. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. So anyway, we got a little bit derailed on this Estoril game. Good start by Benfica, wanting to put the game away right away. But then after the first 15 minutes, we kind of dropped some lines and we let Estoril into the game. Estoril then came up, stepped up on the field, and created us a couple situations after the Gonçalo Ramos shot and the Grimaldo free kick. Estoril hit the upright, and then Odysseus had a save in the 18th minute.
The upright old post, right?
Upright.
Yeah. What's the other
Crossbar?
One? Slant right?
Crossbar.
Okay.
Crossbar and upright. I mean, that's at least how I call it. I don't.
Does it mean it's the right post? So like the up left is if you hit the left post, or is just they're both upright?
They're both uprights.
Olha lá. Just say post. Hit the post.
Pergunta aí ao nosso doutor, o Carlos está aí. Carlos, upright, post, what do you call it? I'm going to say upright.
No, it is. They do say upright.
But I think upright is more for NFL field goal posts, right?
I like saying upright because it distinguishes it from the crossbar. So crossbar, upright.
What if you hit the left side, though?
It's the same thing. They're all uprights.
Oh, they're still an upright.
Yeah, straight up is upright.
They're still upright. Right?
And then the crossbar is a crossbar.
So if you're looking at it, it's upright. But if then you hit the left, so you just turn around, face the other one, it's still to your upright, right? Is that how they do it? No, Porsche. Look, that's it. Carlos, be quiet.
Upright. It just means that you're up.
Carlos is very nice to you all the time. He's always taking your side. He says upright is fine.
Razão, porque ele sabe que eu tenho razão. He's not taking. Upright is very British, Chico Marcelino says.
Upright.
Yeah,
the upright. You've hit the fucking upright.
But the word right has nothing to do with what side it is.
No, it's right. Means that it's right up.
It's right up.
It's standing up correctly. Yeah, it's right up.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
So Wurmas, I could.
And then when Benfica was, the game was pretty even. We had that play from Rafa. cuts out a short corner.
But didn't they hit the upright before that?
They hit the upright
before
and
that.
then the Odysseus had they hit
This
the
is all
upright
like within the first 13 minutes of the game. A lot of action.
first 20 minutes.
Oh, 20. Okay.
They hit the upright in the 9th minute, and then you had the Odysseus save in the 18th minute, and Rafa's goal was on the 34th. So at a time where the game was pretty even, and Estoril was threatening and having some possession, we had the Rafa steal that ball from a short corner, anticipate that ball from a short corner, and just took off with two guys at first, and then the third guy joining him, and he was able to do a couple jukes, body moves, and go and get past them.
There's no truth, by the way, to the rumor that once Rafa caught the ball, that he saw Pizzi on the other end of the field. There's no truth to that rumor. I've confirmed it, ladies. There's no because
you mean he was running to Pizzi?
There was a rumor swirling around Twitter that once he got the ball, he was headed straight to Pizzi. But
Pizzi had the open arms.
Arriva.
Vai, meu menino.
Anda, que tô pé do upright.
No, look, it's an incredible play, regardless of how you see it. Right, for me is pure speed, but there's a body move to throw a couple of those guys off balance. The first two guys that come next to him, and then there's that almost stutter step, start and stop at the end to get away from that third defender and tuck the ball away.
And then he also turns his body to shoot the opposite way, which is not easy on the run.
You know, it wouldn't have been funny. It would have been sad if Rafa did all of that and then he just shanked it.
Like always.
I think that's what I was expecting.
Like normally.
Yeah. It's funny as I'm watching the play, right? And then he scores. The thing that I said out loud was that, man, he even got the finish right. That's what I said out loud as I was watching.
That's how you know you made a mistake.
He even got the finish right.
That's how you know you made a mistake. Oh, you got it right this time.
It's a perfect play.
It was. I mean, phenomenal play. That's definitely, if Benfica's trying to ship him out in the offseason, that's definitely the one that opens the highlights and then forget it. Don't even give him no more highlights after that. And he does this all the time, every game, and that's it. Because if you throw in any videotape, any video of the game, I should say, of either game against Ajax and the champions, so just stick with that one. It's like the cover, the middle, and the end. Just replay the same highlight over.
I think you could splice or you could edit Rafa's highlights just on his explosiveness and getting away from people, but if you leave out the finishing part,
guys, you can watch all those videos, and if you're editing, I'm gonna save you a lot of time. The minute he gets into the box, just change it to the next video.
Cut.
That's it. Add the next image.
No, man, all good and fun. But I guess we could discuss it, right? So there's been a lot of talk about that Rafa didn't celebrate the goal, and then in the post in the post game flash, he was asked by João Martins, what did he think of the goal? He said, I got nothing to say. I mean, look, something is definitely odd, right?
You just finished. What you gonna? I made a mistake.
I got nothing to say.
What was I gonna say? Look, normally I shanked those. I actually got it on goal this time. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, but you could clearly tell that there's something wrong with Rafa, right? And I'll ask you guys what your thoughts are, but I'm more of a believer that it has something to do with not being called to the national team. And I was mentioning to you guys before we turn on the mics that this last group that got called by Santos to play these two games or one game or whatever it ends up being is most likely 90% of the final group that's going to go to the World Cup if Portugal were to qualify. With him not being called, I think in his head he's thinking, well, if he doesn't call me for these two games, which are the most important games in the national team's current history, right? I'm out. I'm not going to make the World Cup. And I don't know if that's what was in his head. I think that we've noticed something, and I'll let you, Cristiano, you get into it.
I'll let Dave
right?
answer first because I got a crazy. I got plenty to say.
You got plenty.
always
For me,
talk,
I
so
think
I
it
want
has something to
Dave to
do with the national team, not so much with the fans criticizing them. But Dave, what are your thoughts, man?
I would just go the other way that we've already been seeing this this relax. I don't even want to call it relax. Just this Rafa that isn't showing any spirit and is just going through the motions ever since JJ left. So I don't know if you want to put it on JJ leaving, Pizzi leaving, or the fans coming down on him, Pizzi, Rafa, Andre Almeida, those the mean girl clique in the locker room there, but I don't think
mean girl click.
I don't think it all falls on the being left out of the national team, because this is something we've been seeing since the new year here.
Cristiano,
Look, I'll start off by saying, go ahead, you guys.
no, I'm just going to set it up for you. It is a known fact, and I think everybody's noticed that ever since JJ left, Rafa has gone down in terms of production. Whether or not that has anything to do with Rissim, or whether or not that has to do with the way he's being deployed and asked to play, I don't know. But go ahead, Christian.
I was gonna say, I'll start off by saying that I'm pretty sure he's not happy about the fact that he's left out of the convocatoria for these very important qualifiers for the World Cup if Portugal does go ahead and advance. I'm pretty sure every professional soccer player, every amateur soccer player has dreams of playing in these types of games. So I'm sure he's not happy about it. But to all of a sudden sit here and see this guy that just mopes around with a frown on his face every single game, all of a sudden, this to me is just was the perfect and convenient excuse at the right time. Dave, it showed up at the right time. Yapa, let's just blame that, because as Dave said, in any Benfica that's been watching Benfica like we all do, and the Freddies and everybody listening to this, we don't miss a game. We've seen the guy. We've seen the way he's carried himself over the last few months. You can clearly tell he is not a happy camper. We don't know what the reasons are, right? But there's plenty of speculation on this. And so, again, go to the tape. Video don't lie. We've seen this, disgruntled guy that's been around there for a while. Benfica scoring goals. He doesn't celebrate. He has not been the same player playing with joy. Something switched off at some point. You can tell he has not been the same Rafa. And so not just his attitude, you can notice it on the field, but also his production has also dropped. All right. And so I think now it's the perfect excuse. Like, look, it's not on Benfica. It's not on you, the fans, which it probably has a lot more to do with that than it does with the national team. It just, it fell on his lap. Convocatoria comes out. I'm not happy. Rather than, opening up a big can of worms here, let's just blame it on that and everybody will accept it and move on. But as I said before, anyone that watches Benfica on the regular understands very well that there's a lot more to it than just the Convocatoria.
You think maybe he's very upset because there's a rumor that Lage might be interested in him?
I don't. I think he liked Lage, right? He played on the Lage with regularity.
He also made Lage's bed. That's how how keen he is.
Allegedly.
I don't know.
Alleged.
If you listen to Pizzi's wife, they think that they were set up.
They were set up. They were set up by somebody.
And look, going back to that, I told you guys, then I'll tell you again. Lage did come up with a video and tell PZ, I've been screwed by the same people. So that left me all scrambling my brass. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, and Chico Marcelino saying Rafa lacks the fire to play football. If you watch the interview that when he was signed, he was asked how he felt to sign, and he said he just shrugged his shoulders and says that it's a nice club. It doesn't strike me. You're right. He doesn't strike me as the guy that's extremely extroverted in celebrating goals, but I have seen him celebrate goals.
Lately. I'm talking about lately. I'm not talking about 3 years ago.
When was the last time he scored, Dave?
I think it was December. That was the stat here.
Exactly.
December against Marítimo.
Exactly, babe.
Can you pull up that?
Much better, but that's what I'm saying. You look at his stats. You look at the way he's playing. Can you really tell me he's shocked that he's not being called up to the Portuguese national team? Solely, forget everything else off the field. Just on the field, solely on the way he's been playing. You tell me this guy is that big of an abu that he doesn't understand that I've been playing like shit. Therefore, my chances of being called up are really Not very good.
I can understand that
Come
too.
on, dude.
I can understand. I can
No,
understand.
you want to
that
get
being
called
a
up to the
factor.
national team? Step up and play like play the way you're supposed to play. I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
He didn't all of a sudden have a coaching change and got benched because the coach doesn't. No, the guy's still getting the same amount of minutes. He's out there. It's on him to perform.
Yeah. No, I understand it. And on the inverse, you got Weigl, right? That earned the call up to the German national team
Yes,
in
exactly.
quite a while based on his performances.
Well, I think it's just Benfica beat Ajax, and so they're like, hey, we got to take these guys serious. But no.
For the teams that have already qualified for the World Cup, this double fixture date on the calendar is also an opportunity to bring in guys that haven't been part of that core group, see where they're at, right? And I do look. I don't want to take any credit away from Weigl actually for being called, but certainly it's nice. And in terms of a morale booster for Weigl, that's huge, because if he's been working hard and he associates his working hard with being called, which we could say that's valid, right? Certainly, it's motivation for him to continue.
Yeah, you call it working hard. I call it playing alongside Adel Tarap and looking good. Adel making people millions all around the world. That's what he does.
You see this guy? I don't even see this.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy.
I gotta teach you how to play with these buttons. Yeah. Hey.
Think it is?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Will he retired that one yet?
No, that one's staying.
That one's not retiring. That one's staying. But anyway, so Benfica goes into the half up 1-0 as a result of that individual effort by Rafa. But it wasn't an easy half for Benfica. Then Estoril came out in the second half, pressed high again, came at Benfica. And then we get the second goal by Ramos and an assist by Gilberto Carlos. 2-0 for Benfica. And then Benfica just got more confident after that goal. And if you can, and I was talking about this last week in terms of coming off a highly emotional game in Europe, there's always a banana peel game, the game afterwards. But I think that that Benfica showed some confidence, especially after they scored that second goal. Then after that, they just try to control the game. They didn't do much more after that. But certainly the second goal helped. The second, especially seeing how Estoril came out to play the second half.
Of course it helps. And they gave Benfica a little bit of a breathing room, and fans got into it. All of a sudden, the confidence, that mojo is back in the building. And then the only thing I'm looking at after that, Dave, is am I going to get my 3-0 prediction correct? And the kid Araujo comes in, he gets a headers by himself. I'm like, there it is, 3-0. Goes wide. And then he proceeds that by a few minutes later, giving the ball away in his own half and then letting the team score, making it 2-1. So I don't know which one of you two got it right, but I know you guys are in cahoots with Araujo, and I don't think that's right.
No, me and
one of you guys picked
Rodriguez, me and Rodriguez got it right. How to cook stuff.
Oh,
cookers.
The guy.
I said 2-1. You said 2-1. You said 3. Dave said 3-1.
Yeah, it was 3-0. I mean, they just whatever. Yeah. But listen, I wanted to point that out about the scores, because I think it's a nice little thing that we do here on the podcast.
Yeah.
That being said, all jokes aside, I don't know how any real Benfiquista can watch this game and be convinced that this is the coach to take over the team next year and going forward. I mean, this is a team that just obviously played a tremendous game. Not tremendous. I mean, the effort was tremendous, but the game was whack in itself. The result was the positive part. But still, as you mentioned, the emotional levels were crazy high on the road, Champions League, get on to the next round. And then you coming home against an opposition that lost their best player, playing at home, right? You should have this game under control. Vlaco Dimos and the upright were Benfica's best players in the first half. And then, obviously they got on the scoreboard. They created plenty of opportunities, but it was never one of those games that, okay, it's out of reach for the opposition. You can tell that Estoril at any moment can spring a couple passes forward and pode estragar aqui esta festa toda. You know what I mean?
I'm laughing at what Magnitude just said. You said, all joke aside, and then he said, why are you talking about Verissimo?
I said what?
You said all jokes aside,
Uh-huh.
and then you started talking about Verissimo.
Oh, I thought I said white. Well, I mean, it's all jokes aside.
Well, let me ask you guys this, and I guess the Freddies can jump in also. Let me set up this scenario, right? I already probably know what the answer is, but it's still good to talk about it, right?
But
let's say, right, Verissimo puts on a masterclass, beats Liverpool,
bro,
and we get into the Champions League final.
That's your first error.
We still got to. You're skipping over the Bayern and Villarreal.
Dave, but it's part of it, right? It's part of it.
This guy put Verissimo and masterclass in the same set. Come on, just estragaste.
Mas peraí. Let me set up that. Let's say the soccer gods or the football gods are with us, right? And Verissimo puts on a tactical masterclass against Klopp, right? We get past, then we end up squeezing by Bayern with another masterclass, and we get to the final. Not necessarily win the final, but we get to the final.
Hold on, so we beat the two best teams in a row, then we lose the final.
But it's typical Benfica, right? Typical Benfica.
I mean, we are second.
Let me ask you guys this: is Verissimo your coach for next season? If he could get that accomplished.
I'll answer real quick. If he beats them and beats Real Madrid 10-0 in the final, no.
Dave?
No, I think I saw this on Twitter before. He could be like our Di Matteo when Chelsea went all the way to the Champions League final and they won, and then they didn't even bring him back for the start of the next season. So I think good guy, but not for the club right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to see here some Red Baron says no. That's a no. Yeah,
Juventus passed.
Yeah, I
We
think
were tied with Juve, and I think they passed. They had one more, I think.
Yeah, I think that regardless of how Verissimo does for the rest of the season, and he could have, by some miracle of God, win the Portuguese league.
But you want to hear what the sad part is? This is the real sad part. Sad and scary is that I don't think we're gonna. Lord, trust me. I want to eat. I want to eat crow. I want to eat like loads and loads of crow. But I don't think we're gonna go to the Champions League final, right? Yeah.
You don't think?
You're going out on a limb on that one, eh, Chris?
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's something inside me that tells me he might still be the coach next year. That's what's really scary.
Yeah, it is scary. The scary thing is that we're 8 games away or 7 games again, whatever is left in the league, right? And understandable that we're most likely going to have to start our season earlier to play the qualifiers to get into the Champions League. And the fact that there's not even a valid rumor about a possible name.
One rumor.
There was a bell, but
That was it.
But
that's the rumor.
Yeah, but
it was the same. I just hope it wasn't the same guys that were saying that they was going to arrive in Lisbon the next day to sign for Benfica. If it was the same Brazucas, we're screwed.
or that guy Pedro Sepulveda announcing that John Texter had done something that had invested in Porto or something like that, and then Texter said
exclusive. Johnny's like, exclusive. I'm right here for everybody.
Exclusive. Where did you hear that? You didn't even take the time to call me and confirm it. But it's scary, man. It's really, really scary that there's no one lined up yet.
Here's to cut you off. In guys, ladies and gentlemen, in Benfica world, there ain't no secrets. Everything some way, somehow
That's what sells
always
papers.
comes out. No, but that's fine. But there's always a mole somewhere. Yeah. There ain't no rumors.
There's nothing for the mole to find.
Leads you to believe that there really is nothing. And then
Yeah.
you see Paulo Fonseca. I think one of the newspapers asked him something about, if he'd be in. He's like, or he's been contacted. He's like, look, it'd be an honor to coach a Benfica, but nobody's contacted me. Nothing. And the guy's like literally in Portugal, right? Sitting in our backyard. He was living in Ukraine with his wife, and he's obviously we all know what's going on over there yet to get out of town, and he's in Portugal, he's in our own backyard, and yeah, conversas, nah, temos o Veríssimo, pá.
Yeah.
Para que ter conversa? We got our coach. We're happy. The guy, I mean, we've, bro, I just don't understand how anyone could watch a Veríssimo coach team and have any type of confidence. I know you gave him credit for the crazy, stupid ass substitution. Good credit to him. He got the result.
We're still on that.
It was a dumb substitution. I'm you know how we talk about that game with Steve Beck and they, right? That substitution gonna stick with me forever because it made absolutely no sense. Now the outcome worked out,
but
I haven't. This is supposed to be the set piece specialist. We get scored on set piece. We haven't scored any goals on. Well, we did. We scored that set piece and Darwin. But corner kicks, right? It's supposed to be our set piece guru. I haven't seen, as far as the team play, I haven't seen any improvement. I have seen improvements on guys like Gonçalo Ramos. Yes, there are individuals that you could tell that there have been improvements in their play. But team-wise, we're still leaking chances left and right. Vlaco Dimos still has to stand on his head, in against a team like Estoril. Think about it. Like not against Ajax. It's against Ajax. They
had an easier game against Ajax.
Ajax had more shots, but as far as danger, it was nowhere near what Estoril posed. You know what I mean? It's just it just leaves you scratching your head. But it is what it is, man. Some people, this is Portuguese.
It is what it is.
Also, it's kind of like, I hope I'm not talking trash about nobody if you're listening. I'm not criticizing. But it's kind of like, you come to my house and I just made a batch of wine and it's the worst wine in the world. You taste that shit, makes your throat go dry. And I'm like, because it's yours. You know what I mean? O teu vinho de casa nunca é mau. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. And
it's like a courtesy almost.
Yeah, no, but even you might say it is, but for me, vinho de casa nunca é mau, and that's Veríssimo. Veríssimo is vinho. É uma uva espremida lá em casa.
Yeah. I think that we could all agree that, Cristiano's already mentioned there's been some players that have improved under him. But the one thing that he's also brought, he has brought some consistency to the 11 where he's had a very tight-knit group of 9-10 guys that they're always playing. And with the exception of the guys that get hurt or have suspensions, some of the guys come in. But the one thing that he's had is he's really is stabilized the 11, if you will. Veríssimo.
I mean, it helps that everybody has been getting hurt, suspensions. I mean, they're options.
Well, it also it helps that his first a month and a half, they're playing once a week. Now with we're gonna preview April here. It's gonna be a game every 3-4 days. You're gonna need to rotate some positions here and there as well, right? So in January we're playing once every 7 days basically, and up until the end of February where we start playing the fixtures against Ajax there.
Yeah, but please, God,
just
no.
Be very wary, right? Read the fine print. Don't just hit order, bro. Look at the reviews, right? When you go to Amazon and you order something that's got 1 million reviews, that's 5 stars. That's probably a good product. Now you got one further down the line with 1 star and 3 reviews, bro. Be very wary.
Yeah, all I know is that the B team hasn't been doing as well since he left. So maybe that's where he needs to go.
He's a fantastic second division coach.
That's where he needs to go.
Maybe
he works well. He works well with youngsters.
The set pieces. Over there they have a bigger advantage. The guy there.
He works well with youngsters. But anyway, it could have been a tough game for Benfica. And I thought that Estoril came to Estádio Luz to play. They didn't set up in the back like many teams do. The second half, they came out to play. Benfica scored that goal, put a damper on what their hopes were for the second half. And then they were able to get that goal at the end of the game, that clean sheet that went away. But look, it could have been a tough game for Benfica, especially coming off a game in Europe. But it turned out okay. I think that Benfica scored at the right moments. It was almost clinical in a way that Benfica scored. Benfica scored at a time where They come off from hitting the upright. They came off from a very good Odysseus save. Benfica scores a goal against the, I guess the run of play, you could say, right?
It's the run of play.
Against the run of play.
Is this another British term? Really? Like, did you go look at the British terms? Like, it's like
no, I think that against you got a footy terms book.
Footy terms for dummies.
And then I think that the goal in the 52nd minute also comes at a time where Estoril was pushing us. So I thought that both Benfica goals were very clinical in the way that they were scored in terms of the timing that they were scored. And I thought that Benfica ends up obviously winning the game justly, but I wouldn't say that they dominated Estoril.
I thought it was going to be an easier match. I didn't think Benfica was going to be under such heavy barrage. I mean, call it what you want. They had excellent chances to score. They had like grade A chances. You know, like that new stat, Dave. You ever watch La Liga on ESPN now? Like, chances a real goal, like 80%. No, they got this new secret
the goal expectancy.
Yeah, goal expectancy. Like, you guys está sozinho frente a baliza is expected to score 93%. Why? The other 7? Well, you might have a Brian Ruiz in front of goal. Like, you're taking that into account. But those chances, that goal expectancy, Dave, they were high grade chances.
Yeah,
that's why I think the 2-1 scoreline is just right. Though the second half we had it all under control, but especially there in the first half, I think we were lucky not to concede a goal there. So I think the 2-1 scoreline was just, even though that last goal there at the end was a little bit of a blunder there, like we mentioned. But they deserved a goal. They deserved a goal.
Dave, and let's not forget, we had the post. You had that one Trivela save. You had another one that went wide, and then you had the one that, like Chico Marcelino was mentioning,
the Vertonghen takes off the line almost.
I mean, that was a shit shot.
That was the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they had clear chances. But hey, Sterling was on our side, and we got the 3 points. And
it was important, man. It was important to continue that momentum.
It's that, exactly, the momentum, the confidence that even when things go bad, we're winning games. And you know,
and we've seen how fragile this team could be in terms of psyche, where if there's ever something that goes against them, the team is very quick to give up. And having this morale booster and this momentum and this confidence grow, I think it's very good for the team in this final stretch of the season.
I wanted to comment here on our boy Carlos Amaro's comment here on the chat, where he says there's a clear level of effort, garra, that was missing. You can't understate the difference he has made. We wouldn't be talking about Liverpool without it. I mean, yes, but I just love how selective we get with our memory, right? Because when we don't like somebody, we forget about the positives, right? When we like it, we remember even the little things. But there was garra there in PSV. I mean, Benfica got a red card early on the first half, and they stuck in there in that game. Benfica was beaten down, if you guys recall.
Yeah.
And that was under Jesus. Now, did they bring it every single week? No, absolutely not. But there was moments of garra there as well.
Yeah, so it's almost when we say here when teams play against Benfica, they don't need that extra motivation to play against Benfica. And so it's the same thing for Benfica. And somebody was saying, or I read this, that they should play the Champions League anthem before every Benfica game, even at Stade de Luz, that it's good for them. And look, if you can't get up to play in the biggest club competition in the world, then something's wrong with you.
It's not the Taça da Liga.
Not the Taça de Cerveja.
Final Four show. Come on, that's a big cup.
No, look, it's as a player, that's where you want to be. I mean, thinking about even Gilberto Carlos.
Well, apparently not Rafa. Rafa wants to be at the World Cup.
No, yeah, that's true. It's more important for Rafa to be at the World Cup. But look, I agree with you, Carlos, and I thought that that the team kind of tapped into something against the game prior to this. Was it Moreirense? Was it Tondela? I don't know who. Tondela. Vizela. It's Ella something.
Ella, yeah.
I think the team tapped into something that I hadn't seen all season
Yeah,
against
They
Vizela.
tapped into the Champions League bonuses. Like
Yeah,
Diego
that's
said.
the truth, man.
Shout
That's
yo.
what's important. That's important, man. Those bonuses are high, man. You make a lot of money off those games, so I get it, man. I get it. And here's the other thing, right? For a lot of guys that are hoping to make the jump, the season domestically has done nothing for them in terms of raising up their value. So the only way to raise up their value is in Europe, obviously. But yeah, man.
There's only 3 guys on the roster you spend money on, though. Who else you gotta spend? It's Darwin, Weigl, and even Vlaco. That's it. Who else?
Grimaldo.
He's leaving on a free, and I wouldn't pay. I mean, I'd ship
He's
him out.
got one more year, I think.
I would ship him. I mean, yo, you give me 20 mil, I'm out. I'll get him first class ticket.
Yeah, there's probably just a handful of guys that I would keep.
I'd go get a bank loan like Luis Riviera did to go get Jesus in
A bank
Rio de Janeiro. I get a bank loan and get him a private jet to get him out of Lisbon.
Yeah, I think
20 mil.
Yeah, that segment that we do at the end of every season, that buy, sell, loan, that should be interesting. That should be very interesting. Dave, stats on this game so we can move on, bro.
Yeah, one quick stat here. Benfica's won every single game this season that Rafa has scored in. So when Rafa is on his game, we're winning games here. So 12th goal of the season, first goal in 3 months. Like I said, first goal since December 19th against Marítimo. We had a goal and 4 assists in that game. If you recall, it was a 7-1 thrashing of Marítimo back in December.
Yep.
Didn't we also whoop on Braga, our next opponent? Did we beat them like 6?
We usually whoop on.
Yeah.
We used to whoop on Braga when Bell was their coach.
Yeah, not all the time. But yeah. Hey, Dave, put up Nick Valadon. I was gonna say Valdano. They used to be Real Madrid, man. Put up Nick Valadon's. Yeah, there it is. Never mind. You beat me to it, Dave. I should have read.
He says if I could wave a wand and would want a coach that can get the most out of his players week in, week out, they need the same intensity as a Taça da Liga game as do with UCL
Taça da Liga
games.
game as in a UCL game. Exactly. A guy that demands and brings it every single game, and demands that his players play com as bolas na mesa, ali ora, like Gilberto.
Well, how much was Everissimo and how much was os murros na mesa do Rui Costa? Because it seems like every game he's down in the locker room giving some motivational
But that's only
speeches.
when we lose.
Oh, it's only when we lose. He doesn't go there when we. That's not really fair.
When we win, it's Verissimo. When we lose, it's the group.
Right. When we lose, it's Rui Costa.
Yeah, he's taking it on the back.
Dave, good with the stats?
I'm good.
All right. Let's,
Magnitude. Who is this Magnitude guy? I don't know who he is, but he's a funny guy. Let me tell you, this season, Dave, my man, Dave, your stats job is in danger.
He says, imagine Andre Almeida lifting the
Yeah, I saw
Champions
that.
League.
No,
Cup.
but the next guy he says,
that's awesome, man.
Dave just gave his stats that we won every game that Rafa scored in or whatever. And so he goes, this season, we have won every game where we had one more goal than our opponents. I like this guy. Is this Neil? This Neil disguised? Neil. Magnitude Neil.
I love guys that just have these special names like the Boy Wonder, like
You
Magnitude.
have Red LeBaron up there too. Where is he?
Yeah.
He came
Yeah,
back.
look, I think
He
that if
came
you're going to be
firing.
in some YouTube comments, you might as well have a cool name. I like it. Magnitude. I like it.
Isn't there like a ice
Like
cream?
raining entertainment.
Ice. That's yeah. There's in the Red LeBaron. He says that you want a Jesse Marsh.
I didn't even know that Jesse Marsh had gone to
Over for the-
Leeds.
To Leeds.
Philosopher.
Two games,
Over
two
for-
games, 2 wins in a row. Nice for
But he
him.
also had 2 losses. I think. I believe
The new
first
Ted Lasso.
The new
yeah.
Ted Lasso. They're chasing the Ted Lasso effect at Leeds.
Yeah, I would have taken him. I do. All jokes aside.
no.
And I know this is a comment for our buy, sell, keep, loan, Met Polish at the end of the year, but we need to identify an American player, and I'm talking about a legit player, and go get one. I think Benfica should get, because I think it bring a ton shit of attention to Benfica, marketability, the whole time. I think it's a good. I think a lot of teams in Europe are looking for good American players as well, but yeah, I think I hope we do that. So Marsh would have been a good shot. He's not a bad coach at all.
Chico Marcelino says André Almeida has more goals in the Portuguese league than Messi.
Tem razão.
Chupa.
Chupa.
Chupa Messi.
Engole.
No, I thought you were going to go and talk about Jesse Marsh. Chris and I, we personally load Jesse Marsh, right? Because we've covered the Red Bulls.
He's a nice guy.
We've been in the locker rooms. We've been to presses with Jesse Marsh, and I always thought that Jesse Marsh is a good coach. I'm glad that he landed on his feet with Leeds after being sacked at Leipzig. But sir, let me ask you this: would you take Jesse Marsh at Benfica?
I mean, when your options are Verissimo or him.
Well, when your options are Verissimo or my mom.
My mom.
At least my mom would whip people into shape.
No.
Tirava a colher de pau, foda-se, toca a correr.
Aí mandava eu. Mamãe, faz isto. Se mamãe walking around with an earpiece. Mas já ganhávamos. Aí ganha o Tarapte titular todos os dias. Capitão.
All right, let's look at this Champions League draw that happened this past Friday, and
it wasn't. It does not. It's up and up. It's not fishy at all.
Unlike the round for the groups for the knockout stages, this one went smoothly from at least what we saw.
Cold ball.
And we drew Liverpool. First game is on April 5th at Chalet Luge. Then we go to travel to Anfield to play them on the 13th. I guess. Look, I last podcast we all chose a team. I don't think any of us chose Liverpool.
No, there were two teams. I think I said if I didn't say it last time, I'll say it again. There was two teams I did not want to face. I did not want to draw, and that was Liverpool and Bayern Munich. Because those two teams scared the living crap out of me. Because when they got 4, they won 5. When they got 5, they won 6. When they got 6, they won 8. And I thought obviously Manchester City also has the ability to do that, but due to the fact that you have a boatload of former Benfica players, I think they would just get to 4. Look, they did it to Sporting. They beat them the first game 5-0, played them at home and just touched the ball around and didn't even try to score goals. It was like, all right, we did enough. I don't believe that they try to embarrass people. Liverpool and Bayern Munich have no damn pity on nobody.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, it's the tough between them and Bayern. I believe those were the two toughest matchups for any team, and so it's going to be.
I think that
tough.
I think that City is very good, but they're not like what you're mentioning in terms of
they're not stepping on
score
your throat.
1, they score 2. There's Manchester City will get comfortable in the game, and then they'll just touch the ball around and make you sniff the ball, and not necessarily attack your goal. And I think that's the difference between Liverpool and Man City. I felt that Atletico Madrid would have been a good matchup for us. Just because of how inconsistent they've been all season.
I mean, when you're looking at that, I would take Real Madrid over Liverpool all day. Liverpool, they just suffocate the hell out of you.
Yeah.
They press you everywhere on the pitch. They give you no type of breathing room. They're constantly, every time they get the ball, they're let's go to goal. Goal. That's it. They have one objective. Is get the ball in the back of the net. They don't care how they do it.
Get the ball.
And that's it.
Recover and score.
Hit it off the upright. They just want to go. And so, I mean, trust me, man. Look, it's going to be beautiful going to Anfield, obviously. It's going to be one of those with the Benfica supporters, and we know that we do a tremendous job of supporting this club anywhere in the world. So that's going to be beautiful to see us alongside, people who are, this is a venue that is known for the, you never walk alone, the singing, the chants. It's one of these. I know that Manchester United has the Theater of Dreams, but this is also, I believe it's in the same. I mean, this is where dreams are made of, and it's in places like this to support Champions League quarterfinals. I just hope that Benfica pulls off another shocker. I know that looking at it on paper, there's absolutely no possibility of getting through. But if you guys recall, back in 2006, Benfica were playing the almighty Liverpool Reds, right? Defending Champions League champions after being down 3-0 to my AC Milan and overturning the result, tying 3-3 and eventually winning in penalties. Then the very next year, Benfica goes, gets them in the knockout rounds, round of 16, I believe. Beats them 1-0 at home, goes to Anfield. Mikoli and Simon Sabrosa bangers. We walked away with it. I mean, 3-0 aggregate. I think we shocked the world. So
yeah, and
I'm hoping we get
there was a very strong team.
Oh yeah, they're defending champions.
Very, very strong team. I think that Benfica is going to obviously struggle. And Chico Marcelino had said something about the low block. I think Liverpool is easier to stop with a defensive low block than City, and City works better in small spaces. I get that. But I think it's gonna be very difficult. I think it's gonna be very difficult for Benfica. But look, I mean, you've gotten this far. What do you got to lose? The only thing is that don't get embarrassed. That's all I'm gonna ask for.
See, but when you go into a game with that thought in mind, don't get embarrassed. You normally do get embarrassed.
Yeah, because usually when you go in with the intent of defending, you end up getting burned. But
we know we're gonna be pinned. We're gonna be pinned.
As any other team in the world would be by Liverpool.
Absolutely, but at the same time, I think Benfica has to be smart, play compact defense, and look, you gotta have a guy in the midfield that can make an outlet pass, and then hopefully Rafa stops whining, right, and he gets on one of those magical runs against Van Dijk, right, and then he finishes one off for Darwin. Darwin Van Dijk is going to be a very interesting matchup. And just like they have a phenomenal team. They have a really good team.
There's not much we could say about that.
I'll say this much: this is where Benfica should be every single year. This is what
at least to this.
Of course, I always
to this round.
Dave, if you recall, a few weeks ago, I said Benfica should always they should always strive for their goal at the end of the season, reaching the quarterfinals every single year. That should be where they want to go. And then after that, hey, whatever happens, happens. But I think that's the type of club that Benfica should strive to be. A club that gets out of the Champions League group stage every single year. A club that, look, obviously, if you're going to draw, big, mighty powerhouse in the round of 16, shit happens. But, you play the Ajaxes, you play the Zenits of the world, the Sevillas, the Tottenhams, you play these secondary teams. There should be no reason why Benfica should not be able to take these teams on head-to-head and, play them olhos nos olhos and hey, you let the best team win.
Yeah, I could picture a Liverpool fan watching the highlights from the game this past weekend and seeing Rafa score that goal on that run and not celebrate and go, that guy is a straight cold killer.
Who, Rafa?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be impressed with that goal, but that's about it.
Yeah, and no celebration. Like he's done. He does this every day. But look, anyway, it's gonna be a tough game. Dave, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on the match?
It's gonna be it's definitely gonna be tough, right? Like you guys mentioned, nobody here wanted to face Liverpool, but we've seen stranger things happen before. We've made reference to the 06 run that this club went on when I think they beat United in the group stage, and then they beat Liverpool in the round of 16. But
we lost to Barca.
Yeah. But this is going to be, I think this Liverpool is way stronger than that Liverpool in 06, even coming off the European Cup or the Champions League that they won the previous year. That still wasn't. They weren't tearing up the Premier League. If I'm not mistaken, they might have been finishing. I don't even know if they finished in the top 4. I think they had to win the Champions League to qualify for the next year's tournament. But definitely going to be a tough task here for Benfica. But like you guys are alluding to, it's all gravy from here, right? Like I don't think nobody expected us to be in this position at this point. So
yeah,
it's gravy, and it's already a huge financial boost to the club.
Yeah, it's all gravy.
Like I said before, bro. Look, this is the beauty of sport. This is where you want to be, and it's gonna be fun, as long as it's como tu disseste. Vamos sair dali todos borrados, right? As long as it's nothing like that, it is what it is. We understand that clubs like Benfica can't in today's format, the way they have it set up. I mean, you see how much money that these teams from the EPL, La Liga, Serie A, even Ligue 1, right? In the Bundesliga, the buckets and buckets of money that they get for their participation, just from TV, as opposed to Portuguese teams. I mean, we know, looking on paper, two players in Liverpool probably make their two salaries. Salah and Mane probably. I don't even know the highest. I know Salah's probably the highest paid player, but whoever's second after that, their salaries probably cover everybody. Benfica's whole salary. You know what I mean? Like, it's going. We all understand it's tough as hell to play against these teams, but nonetheless, you still want to be there. The other Portuguese fans laughing, "Oh, Benfica vai isto, Benfica vai assim, vai acontecer." Bro, you still what? So okay, era melhor perder contra o Ajax, não ir para casa. Like, we got no chance. Let's lose. No, bro, you got to fight this chance. Let's go. Let's go out there and play the game and see what happens. So I hope they have.
Yeah, I mean, attitude. Yeah, like Dave says, we got there. It's what do we have to lose? Let's go. Let's go. Somebody was saying that Salah is like a super Rafa. Boris, what I think is that how Aymars was Messi's idol. I think that Rafa is Salah's idol. No, vamos lá. There was my attempt at comedy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit.
Maybe
anyway,
he's available, right? He's available to come coach Benfica,
I
right?
I would not. Gattuso. He's the guy that I just quoted.
Could you imagine? I wasn't paying. I was trying to read. Could you imagine Gattuso at the Ladrão and Sérgio Conceição?
Oof.
That's a pay-per-view.
That's a cage match, right? That's what they call it. Pay-per-view, Dave. Cage match. Yeah.
UFC.
Not mask. Cage match. No. Remember you were young. Remember back in the days in WWE?
They used to drop the cage on the ring.
Now they have the cage for the UFC MMA.
That's not a cage. It's an octagon.
It's an octagon, dude. Sorry. Dave, you're a wrestling guy. You don't
semantics,
know what I'm referring to, Dave?
I know what you're referring you to, like a steel cage match where you got to climb out of the cage.
Yes. Dave, I was wrong, but you corrected me. Steel cage match, yes. Didn't one of the Hart brothers fall off of one and broke his back? Something like that, right?
He's dead. He died.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. Cool.
Anyway, but we'll have another chance to talk about this game in detail next time we reconvene. As we mentioned, the game will happen on the 5th. We will reconvene when, Dave? Not this Tuesday. The Tuesday after that, because since this is an international break.
Tuesday after that is the 5th.
Is the 5th? Okay, so we're gonna reconvene here on Monday.
No, we're gonna do it
on the 4th.
Oh, we'll do a preview for the game. Maybe we do a short type of thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, we don't need to do a preview. We just did the preview.
We're gonna say again, we hope we don't get embarrassed tomorrow.
No, look,
Rafa's gonna be nice and fresh because he didn't get called up to the national.
Yeah, but then again, these national teams. Let's see what happens because the COVID's going up again. You got guys, even though right now the only thing I think it's 5 days minimum that they would need to stay out if they got COVID. But you never know. With these international breaks, you hope that nobody gets hurt and hope that the team will be
so you're
healthy.
Saying should have a house party at Pep's house and invite all Liverpool players? Is that what you're saying?
Well, Pep probably helped out Taremi off the pool. And that's how we got COVID. I don't know.
Well, Rating Entertainment says, "What about after Portugal gets knocked out?"
Epa, we'll leave that for the Seleção Pod, man.
Right.
Yeah, no Benfica players in that national team. It's fine by me, man. I'm not planning on watching the national team at all.
Just wait until Roberto Carlos becomes a neutralized Portuguese.
Naturalized. Neutralized.
Well, when he plays under Fernando Santos, he's going to be neutralized. That's for sure.
Hey, if Otávio can make it, why not Gilberto? After all, the competition is what? Cancelo, Semedo,
Yeah, but look,
Dalot. Who else?
I don't want to get into this. I was gonna say
The one
something, I
dude
don't wanna get
that
into
dude that plays for Arsenal,
Cedric.
Cedric.
Cedric got called up again.
Cedric the
They
entertainer.
They took 3 right backs.
Yeah, but they couldn't
Cancelo,
call
Pereira,
Rafa.
and Cedric.
They're
They
gonna
got
use a
what?
right back
Cancelo's
to
there
play
too.
right wing.
Cancelo can't play, I don't think.
I know he can't play, but they called. So I guess they left Pereira out. So it was Cedric, Cancelo.
Smith was hurt, I think.
No, I know. Who the hell did I just say?
Dalot, they called Dalot.
There it is.
Dalot
That's the 3
called
right
up.
backs. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Anyway, all right. Well, Dave, what does our month of April look like? You already mentioned that's very busy, but go to the schedule. Let
Yeah.
everybody know.
So we've got Braga actually right after the international break on the 2nd. Going by the 2nd because our lovely league still hasn't posted times and dates for our April schedule here. So
Dave, not to cut you off, but the newspapers have already said that Darwin and Otamendi
Are
will
not
miss
going to
that
be.
game.
Yeah, they're not.
Nobody knows when the hell that game is played. How do they? It's just. But go ahead, Dave. Just
touche. But yeah, first game back after international break is against Braga at Braga. Then we come back and play Liverpool at home on April the 5th, followed by B-Sad also at home on the 10th. Then we go to Anfield on the 13th, followed by going to the Avalad against Sporting on the 16th. Back at the Estadio de Luz against Famalicão on the 24th. And then we end off our busy month of April going to Madeira to play Marítimo on the 30th.
Yeah.
So I believe that's 7 games. 7 games there in about 30 days.
Busy month, man. Busy month. We got Boldense sandwiched in between that Liverpool fixtures. And then Sporting right after we come back from Anfield. Even though I think that the third place is locked up right now, and I don't think that Benfica will go past or below that third place. I think that's locked up. We still need to play the games and obviously win them. But I don't think that Benfica is in any danger of losing that third place, nor is Benfica close enough to get past Sporting, in my opinion. And maybe I'm being a little bit negative. I would say I'm being a little bit of a realist as we look at this extremely congested month of April and what Benfica needs to do. So it's almost like a little cycle that Benfica will need to go through this month of April and see where the team ends up when it's all said and done. Anyway, what else we got? That's it. Oh, volleyball, 19th Portuguese Cup added to their trophy case this past weekend.
É o que eu digo. Vocês cada podcast, cada ano.
Mas espera aí.
Vocês dão mais razão, bro. We've become Sporting, bro. Look, I like volleyball coach, phenomenal guy. But now we become Sporting. Now we're talking about other sports as opposed to.
You know why I mentioned it? Because once upon a time, and this is more for the older listeners, we used to have a friend of ours that helped us out, and he used to record a little audio segment that we used to put in our podcast. And right? Nelson Lucindo, and I miss Nelson Lucindo. I haven't spoken to him in a while. I got to give him a call, see what's happening. He just disappeared. But he used to say nas modalidades, and then he used to give us some results on the modalidades. So that just reminded me of Nelson. I hope he's doing well. Got to give him a call. Anyway, I think that's all we got. Dave, you got anything else? I see you got that the Canadian tracksuit, track top.
He hasn't tweeted since.
When Portugal fails to qualify, at least we've got Canada to fall back on here. And you guys all have the same.
Dave, I gotta be honest with you, man. I used to like Canada, the national team. Canada, I used to kind of
used to. When the hell were you supporting the Canadian national team?
I sympathized with them and I liked them to win, right? But
When?
before
Steven Vittoria was there.
before
Fernando Aguiar,
Steven
maybe.
Vittoria became a dick and Eustáquio became a dick.
Wait, why did Vittoria?
Wait, who became a dick? Eustáquio for sure.
Eustáquio and Vittoria. Vittoria
Vittoria
became a
become a
dick
dick?
also.
Vittoria's not a dick. Very nice guy.
Vittoria's
He
the
was a
best
dick
free
when
kick guy in Portugal.
when he played
According to
against
Neil.
Benfica. He's like he had a hard on.
Of course, he wants to prove his
Sure.
former team wrong.
How did the club treat him when he was
Yeah,
there?
but we could be respectful. Hey, the club paid his salary every week, I'm sure, or every month, whatever it was. I'm sure treat him really nice.
I'll vouch for Vittoria. I met him before their last game when they were up here, and nice guy. But
there's
Eustáquio for sure.
The Nelson Lucindo connection that Nelson and I created a fake Steven Vittoria
So that was
profile
you guys.
on Twitter, and we used, but it said not Steven Vittoria.
So you were part of that.
Yeah, me and Nelson, we used to tweet off that account.
You two clowns, because I remember us talking about it on the podcast, like wondering who the. Yeah, I remember you asked if I knew who it was. I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
You
no,
were
it
in on it
was
all the
me
time.
and Lucindo. We used to we had a couple, and then we kind of had to quit it because that shit was getting people were getting serious about it. Anyway, that's all we got.
Vittoria, if you're listening, come on a podcast, bro. He's a nice guy. He's at Moreirense now, right?
Hey, Dave knows him.
Still at Moreirense.
Yeah, I would like to. The only Canadian I would like to get on a podcast is Fernando Aguiar.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Alfonso Davis.
Alfonso Davis. Fernando Aguiar, I'd like to get, man. I think that there's a lot of stories from Fernando Aguiar that will be extremely entertaining.
Quando a gente tinha que tomar banho com a mangueira, não havia shampoo, não havia sabonete. Remember? That's what the guys all
RoboCop. Stuff. Anyway, Dave, always nice. Freddy's, thank you for coming in and keeping us company. You're the best. You guys very active on the chat. Cool. And the guys with the cool names, man, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's all we got. Cristiano, these bye-bye, senhores.
Guys with the cool names, but the rest of you guys eat it. That's fucked up. Yo, you're the rest of you guys.
No, look, Reigning Entertainment is here, man. Then you got the Red Baron, and you had Magnitude, who was dropping comments and shaking the chat box.
You know, Chris is just gonna create a fake YouTube account to join in the chat there too while we're recording the podcast.
And then
I'm here, Dave. I'm here. I'm talking.
I know, but you're gonna come up with another cool name because clearly
Alfredo. I don't have that great of imagination, bro.
Yeah, and what do you call it? And Carlos Amaro also to keep us.
He's got a corny name.
To keep us. No, it doesn't.
You just said all the guys the cool names. No, everybody else.
No, but Carlos is. I like Carlos because
cool.
he keeps us. Timoteo.
Timoteo's not cool.
Timoteo.
Right? That's Timoteo's like a Saurian. But Timo, it could be like Timo Warner. It could be German. It could be Finnish.
Hey, Timo, I saw that picture that you posted of your family on Instagram. I believe your son is almost as tall as you, man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna tell Timo call Min. That's
no, man. I would never say that to him.
I love you.
Your son is almost as big as you, Timo.
He's cool. He's cooler than his dad, though. I had the pleasure of meeting him.
Yeah, definitely.
You, man.
All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Later. Peace. Oh, that's not the one.
Amateur hour, bro. Without me on the board.
Later, everyone.
Oh,